Most of the time, we have to do shit that we really don't wanna do. We gotta go to the gym and work out even though we're exhausted and we just wanna lay on the couch. We gotta eat that diet and stick with it even though we want to cheat. We crave the good foods and the dessert and the sweets and all that, but we can't have them. Some days you just want to wake up, lay in bed, do nothing. You're just like, oh man, not today. But you still got work to do. And you're just gonna have to do it. And that's the thing. All these emotions holding us back, saying, oh man, I'm exhausted. Oh man, I don't feel like it. Oh man, it's too difficult. Oh man, I just want to take a day off. Those emotions, those feelings, you just gotta ignore them. Just fucking throw them in the trash. Ignore them completely and do it anyway. That's the only thing you can do. I guess you could listen to them. You could listen to them and just do what they say. Just eat the junk food. Just take a day off. You don't need to work out today. You don't need to work that hard. You know what? The business can wait. You don't need to post a video today. You don't have to think about new ideas on what to do. You don't have to do that. You don't have to learn new skills. You don't have to do anything. Sure, go ahead, listen to that. And see what the fuck happens with your life. Because I think everyone knows exactly where we're gonna end up if we do that. We're definitely not gonna end up where we want. You see, the key is you have to do what you don't want to do to get to where you want to get. And if you do what you want to do, then you end up where you don't want. And so it's very simple. You either do what you don't want to do and you get what you want, or you do what you want but you get what you don't want. And all these emotions, all these feelings, I hate the word feelings and emotions in any way because I think you should ignore them for the most part anyway. Fuck feelings. Nobody cares anyway. Feelings, emotions, these are imaginary bullshit within our heads that mean nothing. Literally. If you're happy or sad or angry or exhausted or roaring to go, you're full of energy, all these emotions, does the actual world around you change in any way? No, it does not. And so we can conclude that those emotions don't fucking matter. They're bullshit. Just fucking ignore them. The only pieces of the puzzle that matter, the parts of the equation that actually contribute to the end result are the actions you take. If you go to the gym and you feel like shit, you still get stronger, you still get healthier, you still improve. If you go to the gym and you feel amazing, the same end result. You still get stronger, feel better, healthier, everything. So the feeling that you felt meant nothing. It changed nothing. And so you have to have this, in a sense, masculine idea of stoicism where you don't give a fuck what you feel. Now, can you stop yourself from feeling emotions? You probably cannot. You're always gonna feel something, but you can choose to act anyway. You might feel like shit, but you can do it anyway. You can still go to the gym, you can still work hard. And the great thing is that maybe I don't feel like recording this video. Maybe I didn't feel like working out today. Maybe I didn't feel like eating the clean foods that I did eat. Maybe I wanted to eat junk food. Yet I still did all these things. And I still get the rewards for making them. Making the correct choice, no matter how I felt. And so if you want to be someone who gets the good results, who's healthy, I have no bodily problems, no physical problems with my body, I'm healthy in every way, I'm in good shape, I clearly work out. Like, if you want these results, then you just have to take the actions no matter how you feel. And all the people are like, oh, that's toxically masculine. Oh, you shouldn't just ignore your emotions. Well, okay, fucking stay a loser then. Stay a loser. And it sounds super harsh, but it's the truth. I mean, imagine two people. One has all the toxic masculine characteristics that you can imagine. He's assertive, dominant, competitive. He goes to the gym and ignores his feelings. He wants to stay home and relax, yet he goes to the gym anyway. Yet he works anyway. He ignores his feelings. He's stoic. He's toxically masculine. Oh, but now imagine another guy. He has none of those qualities. The idea of competition scares him. Oh, there's competition. I'm not gonna go do that. Boo-hoo. Oh, dominant. Oh, no. They're submissive. They're weak. They feel like relaxing, so they don't do the work. They don't go to the gym. They want to eat junk food. They don't stick to their diet. They just fall to their indulges. Gluttony. They have a temptation and they fall to it instantly because they have not a strong mind. And so you take these two people, one is toxically masculine, one is not, and then just ask yourself, which one is in better shape? Which one can bench more? Which one is healthier? Which one earns more money? Which one has a happier life? Which one is more satisfied with their life? And most importantly, which one would you rather be? Because I think we all know the answer. Everyone wants to virtue signal about how they're so fucking amazing because, oh, I fight against toxic masculinity. I fight against this bad thing, that bad thing. And it's like, what the fuck? I don't. I embrace it. Because I'm trying to actually fucking achieve something with my life. Now, if you wanna be obese and, never achieve anything exceptional, you wanna never endure any pain to become great, then sure, that's a choice of yours that you can make. And it is completely up to you, and I cannot make it for you. Nor do I really care if you make that choice. I mean, actually, in a way, I would prefer if a lot of people made that choice because it would make it a lot easier for me to stand out. Like, if everyone stays home and is lazy and I'm the only one working, then I will be the one who gets all the great things and the results. And same is with you. If you just go to the gym when everyone else says, oh, not today, I'm exhausted, had a long day, you're gonna beat them. You're gonna get the end result. You're gonna get a better physique than them. And then they're gonna look at you like, oh, but that's wrong. You can't just ignore exhaustion. You can just ignore your feelings. But you can. And many people prove this day in, day out. You think the people, working in the blazing sun right now, it's super hot outside, there's people working construction, fucking paving the roads. You think they want to be there? You think their feelings are saying, I love this, I love standing in the blazing sun, fucking getting scorched to fucking death, basically? Of course they don't feel like that. No, quite the opposite. They would want to be home, they would want to not do that, yet they do it anyway. And that is how societies are built, that is how greatness is achieved. You have to have the bravery to do something that you don't want to do. You have to be toxically masculine in the sense that you ignore your emotions. You might be afraid of posting content online because you don't know what other people are gonna say. You might be afraid of what happens if you start that business, but you're gonna have to ignore that emotion. You're gonna have to ignore that fear and those feelings, and yes, only then can you start doing the correct actions to get the end result that you want. And the same way, you're going to have to ignore feelings of exhaustion. Not every day you will wake up motivated. That's simply life. Nobody is motivated 100% of the time. 99% of the time, you probably are not gonna feel like going to the gym. You probably don't feel like, oh man, today's gonna be an amazing workout. You can still go and work out. And that's what you should do. You see, in the primal times, we did not have the luxury of choice. You just fucking had to go running after the fucking gazelle and hope that you fucking catch some deer or something to eat. You just fucking had to. There was no choice. There was no, I'll just fucking order food. What the fuck? Like, that didn't exist. And so nowadays, because we have the luxury of choice, life has been made so easy for most of us. Not every one of us, but most of us. That we choose this shitty life that we deep down hate. Isn't it funny how everyone's like, you know what? I feel like just staying home and eating junk food, and then they do that. I feel like not starting that business because I'm afraid, and then they don't start it. And in the end, they did what made them feel good and what they wanted to do, but in the end they're not satisfied, they're not fulfilled. They actually hate their existence. Many times they despise their own existence, their own lives, even though they did exactly what they felt like doing. And shouldn't that wake you up in a way? Maybe you're not supposed to do what you feel like doing. Maybe you're supposed to do the opposite. Maybe you're supposed to do what you're afraid of. Do what makes you be anxious. Do what makes you stressed. Do what you don't want to do. And maybe then you get the satisfaction, the fulfillment, all these things. But most people, they just don't. They never do. And it's sad to see so many people, they have talent, they have potential, they have everything. And they just go and but I feel like staying home. Well then fucking stay home, dude. No one can fucking stop you now, can they? And then 20 years later, you look at them and they're a fucking obese dude, working a shitty job they fucking hate, haven't achieved anything. They're miserable, depressed, hate their fucking life. But the guy who suffered in the short term, he went to the gym, he ate clean, he worked hard. That's the guy who's like, wow, he's in fantastic shape, his life is in order, he's happy, he's satisfied, he's fulfilled, he's achieved all kinds of things. He did the scary things of this or that, and now he has stories to tell. Like, wow, that's the life that you want. Because when you start looking at the world from the perspective of what is the life that you want to live? Think about this very deep question of philosophy and fucking life, bro. What is the life that you want to live? Do you truly want to live a comfortable life? Like, imagine before you're born, you get to choose what life you live. And it's like, do you want to live the life that is just comfort? Yeah, you're born and then everything's fine, everything's amazing. You just get food, then just sit around, maybe watch a bit of TV, social media, video games, party, drink alcohol every now and then. Everything's fine. Comfort, comfort, comfort. And then you die. Is that the life you want? Or would you rather have the life of, well, you know what, there's a bit of fucking suffering. Some shit fucking happens, a fucking car flips, and you fucking almost lose your life, but it's a great fucking story to tell later on. And then the fucking house almost fucking burns down, and you're like, what the fuck, you're panicking, you have to jump through the fucking flames, act like fucking Superman, and then you become real life Batman, and you go fucking vigilante mode, and you fucking do all these cool, crazy stuff. And then you're in pain and suffering, but in the end you get the big win and the success and you're like a super fucking hero. Isn't that what you want? Like, isn't that a lot cooler of a life? Like, if you truly look at yourself and you think to yourself, what is the deep down, the masculine essence within you? The masculine essence, once again, we're going back to the masculinity, you know? A part of masculinity is stoicism. Not giving a fuck what someone else thinks, but not giving a fuck about your own fucking feelings either. And so, a part of that masculine nature, isn't it that adventure? Like, don't you as a man, if you're a man watching this, don't you as a man want adventure? Like, don't you have that bit inside you? Just like there were men back in the days who went around on a fucking ship and said, we're sailing that direction until we find land. And then they found a new world. They found a new fucking island with a fucking native tribe or something, and they're like, fuck it, dude, we're the first people to find this, now we get to name it and conquer it and so on. Don't you have the masculine essence of like wanting to explore, wanting to get adventure, wanting to go and do brave stuff, conquering this world? And now people might think that that's bad, sure, but the people who think it's bad usually aren't the ones that you should listen to. Because, I mean, look at their lives. Most of the time, the people who say adventure bad, conquering the world bad, exploring the world bad, are the ones who fucking, you know, are overweight and have achieved nothing. And I'm not saying that you're supposed to like colonize other people or like actually start wars or anything, but you can like conquer the minds of people. You can spread your good ideals, you can spread hope, and in this way conquer the minds of people. You know, you can give them hope by showing them a better life. You can be like, wow, look, I have this new way of living. You can go to the gym and you can exercise and eat healthily. And through that you can show people that there is hope. You can conquer their minds in that sense. You can have adventure by exploring new places without hurting anyone. And all of this is a part of the masculine nature of just not caring about some of those negative emotions. There is always going to be fear of what if the unknown happens? What if there is something that we did not account for? There is always going to be fear that maybe it's a bit too risky. There's always going to be those feelings of, you know what, it's exhausting, it's tiring. You know, maybe it's not meant for me, and this and that. But you're just going to have to explore. You're just going to have to have an adventure. And go through that, you know, roller coaster of emotions and just fucking do it anyway. And that's the beauty of life. You get to do it anyway. You get to feel all these amazing emotions. And you just, boom, that's life. Like, isn't it beautiful that within a single day, 24 hours, you can go from waking up, feeling kind of normal, then something happens, you're fucking pissed off, you want to burn the whole world down, then something good happens, you maybe had a good workout, then you feel amazing, you're like, you know what, the world is all rainbows and sunshine, and then something else happens, and now you're a bit sad, and then something else happens, and then you're like, you know what, actually it's not that bad. And then by the end of the day, you look back and it's like, whoa, what a life. Because you just chose to take action without caring about those emotions. Because each step of the way you could have given up. Each step of the way you could have said, you know what, this is the emotion that I want to stick with, and I'm not doing anything anymore. I feel afraid of going outside, I'm not going to go outside. And then your day ends there, and you never do anything. Or you can say, I go outside, let's see what happens. Okay, something bad happened. You know what, I'm not going to do anything anymore. I'm just going to go back inside, and I'm going to be afraid, and I'm just going to stay in here, because you know what? Something bad might happen again. And once again, your day ends there. Or you can once again ignore that feeling and just keep going. And then something good happens. Then you get the good workout that you had. And then you're like, wow, actually it's amazing. And once again, you can decide to quit right there. You know, I had a good workout, I'm just gonna go home. I'm not gonna do anything anymore. I'm not gonna risk losing this. It's too risky to do anything anymore. I feel good right now, so let's just fucking go home and hope that this lasts. Or you can once again ignore that feeling and keep going. And as long as you keep going, you get to experience new things, new emotions, new things. You learn about yourself. You learn about the world. You have this fantastic adventure every day. And boom. Because you did it anyway. You might have felt like trash. You might have felt like shit. Yet you did it anyway. And that is the beauty of life. That is the masculine beauty. You just get to experience things. The good, the bad, the ugly. But hey, that's fucking life, dude. That's the beauty of it. And you get to experience it all. Isn't that fantastic? Once again, if we think to the example of before you are born, you choose what kind of life you want to live. Do you want to live a life with only one singular emotion? Happiness per se? Or joy? Or whatever? Like, that's a pretty boring life. Like, once again, the masculine nature within you says, you know what, I want to fucking explore it all. Give me a bit of fucking heartbreak. Give me a bit of fucking pain, suffering, struggle. But then in the end, the success, the joy, the happiness, and the content that comes with it. And once again, all of that is out there. If you just go and do it, no matter how you feel. Because sometimes you just feel like crap. Yet you're just gonna have to do it anyway. And so no matter how you feel, I think you know what the actions that you're supposed to take are. You're still supposed to go to the gym. You're still supposed to work hard. You're still supposed to eat clean. You're still supposed to network and talk to new people. You're still supposed to do the things to build that fantastic life and adventure that then you can look back upon. Build the stories and live through them. And that is the beauty of life, that you get to experience if you simply choose to do it. No matter how afraid you are, no matter how you feel about it, just do it. And just go out there, stay disciplined, chase your dreams, and have a fantastic day.